I would like to introduce Lieutenant Commander Howard Wallace and his lovely wife, Dale.
Hi.
When this guy asked me for a date, I said, with your reputation, I don't think that's right.
Reputation, I can't understand. I like to make people laugh. I disturbed every class I was ever in. I drove the teachers nuts. And I got spanked one time for smoking in the gym. And I chased some girls, a few. Well, I chased a lot of girls. And, oh, I have a salty tongue. You know what that means? But
Don't think we want to know.
I was a senior, and Dale was a junior, and I did not know her. So, whenever the grades came out my senior year, I didn't have enough credits. I can't imagine why. I didn't have enough credits to graduate. So I came back, had to go next year with her, and I met her that summer. Had I not had all that happen to me, I would have never met her. It was a God thing. And now we deal with this issue of the date. I started, well, I want to date this lady. So I had some of her friends and I met me, and then I gave her my charm, and she said yes. I said, great. Pick you up Sunday night, we're going to the drive-in movie.
Not so fast. I don't go to a drive-in movie on Sunday night. I go to church.
Church? That's what I see over here. I didn't have that in mind at all. But you know what? I wanted to date her so badly. I said, I'm willing to go to church. So I went to church, and that turned out to be the most wonderful day of my life. Because I found the love of my life, and I continued to go to church with her. I heard the gospel, and I accepted Jesus Christ and changed my life forever. Praise the Lord.
A year later, Howard asked me to marry him, with the promise that he would not go on active duty in the Navy. 10 months later, I was a Navy wife living in Chincoteague, Virginia. But there we met a special couple, and they were from Kentucky. Today they live in Concord, North Carolina, and they are here to help us celebrate.
Wow.
Let me tell you how we got to Chincoteague. I signed up for 2 years active duty. The Navy sent me up to Bainbridge, Maryland, the Yeoman Class A school. I graduated. I came back to Andrews to pick up my bride. And we had everything we owned piled in a 53 Chevrolet Bel Air coupe. It was baby blue and cream. I loved that car. And the only money we had was $80, and we're going to Chincoteague, Virginia. We left at midnight. We still look at you and why did we leave at midnight? We got up there early the next morning. That was okay. And we came off the bridge in Chincoteague. Has anybody ever been to Chincoteague? Probably not. Yeah, you have. Chincoteague. And I turned to the right and went into a five and dime store to look for a place to live. Did that make sense? But they said, oh yeah, there's a cabin right around the corner. So we found the cabin, and we settled down. And if Dale had known then that this was a start of 24 years as a Navy wife, she probably would not have signed the contract.
This is the Wallace family tree. It began with Howard and Dale, who celebrate today 60 years of marriage. What started as 2 quickly grew to 5 and has since grown to 26. Let's take a moment and meet this family.
Hi, we're Brad and Susan, and between us we have 2 boys and 2 girls. Michael is married to Holly. BJ is married to Catherine. They live way up in Ohio, but BJ's here tonight, so you'll get to meet him. And
we have Stacy, who is married to Chris, and Lindsay,
who is looking, and sorry.
Don't go there.
Okay. And we have 6 grandkids.
Yes, we have Hannah, Parker, Colt, Emmy, Holden, and Livy. And that was by age, not by parents.
And we're glad to be here tonight to
Yes.
celebrate with Mom and Dad. We're so proud of you. Great 60th anniversary. Congratulations. Thank you for creating me and for loving us the way that you do, and for the great Christian heritage we have and the legacy that you have in creating this family. And those of you who heard that earlier about Lindsay, we do have...
Bradford? No.
We wouldn't do that, no. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Love you.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm Brad's oldest son. This is my wife, Holly, and our 3 children, Colton, Emery, and Olivia. And Colton and Emmy actually have a special song that they wrote to say happy anniversary to Memaw and Popa. You guys ready?
Ready, guys? Yes. Okay. Will you take us to McDonald's? Our parents never have to know. I think our happy meal is overdue.
No, that's not right.
That's not what we talked about saying. This is about Memaw and Popa and their anniversary.
This is not about you mooching
not
more
about
food
you
off
guys.
of them. Okay,
Daddy and I have a song.
we've got this covered.
We'll do
Okay, here we go.
Ready?
In South Carolina, they were born and raised. In the Navy is where they spend most of their days. Traveling and having kids left and right. No.
What?
What? What?
That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, okay, you're probably
Yeah,
right.
you're probably
This should be
right.
less about our musical career and more about just saying to Memaw and Popa that we love them. We're so proud of you guys. Happy 60th anniversary. We're excited to be here to celebrate with you tonight. And we all want to say together that we love you.
Happy anniversary, Memaw and Popa. You guys are such an incredible example for a couple just starting out. We love you, and I'm so happy that I could be there to celebrate with you guys.
And I'm sorry that I can't be there tonight, but I love you both so much, and I hope that you have a wonderful 60th anniversary.
Hey everyone, I am Brad and Susan's daughter Lindsay, and I just wanted to wish Dale and Howard the best anniversary possible. I love you both and you deserve a great day. Love you.
Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad.
Congratulations on 60
years. Ben and Josh could not be here, but Penny is speaking on their behalf. Thank you so much for the way that you have loved each other and the example that you've set for us, and for loving each one of us individually in such a meaningful way.
Your commitment has been amazing, and we're just really proud of you. Thank you.
Love you.
Love you. Go Navy!
Hi everyone, I'm Wally.
I'm Sherry.
I am the 3rd child of Howard and Dale, and the favorite child, of course. And this is my beautiful wife. I just want to take a minute to say happy anniversary to you guys, 60 years together. It's so great. And thank you for the great example you set of a great marriage, through all the ups and downs, you've relied on each other. Most of all, you relied on the Lord for everything that you've got and everything that you are. So have a great time tonight with your closest friends. I'm glad everyone's here that could be here. So have a great time. Love you guys. Who throws their own party?
Your parents.
Yeah, I know, right? We had this thing planned for them. Next thing you know, Howard's saying, well, let's, throw our own party, invite friends and stuff.
I didn't even know they had 80 friends.
I didn't either. Well, we had this great cruise for them. We were going to give to them and stuff, but, you throw your own party, you forfeit all those gifts. So, you ready to go on our cruise next week?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
See ya.
Hi, I'm Suzanne, and this is my husband Jacob, and I am Dale and Howard's granddaughter, and we just wanted to wish you guys a happy anniversary and say that we love you guys very, very much.
Go Navy!
Hi, I'm Dr. Ellen Wallace, and a lot of people don't know this, but I'm actually a licensed psychologist. Upon living with the subjects known as Dale and Howard Wallace, I observed some symptoms that I'd like to share with you. The patients exhibited signs of codependency, spontaneous and uncontrolled use of pet names, and are prone to bouts of being adorable together. They know each other's habits, preferences, and schedules. Sometimes they even drive each other up the wall. In my professional opinion, I would diagnose Dale and Howard with a condition commonly known as 60 years of marriage. For treatment, I suggest throwing a party with all their friends and family and spoiling their favorite grandchild. But in all honesty, I love you guys so much, and I've appreciated spending time with you, and seeing you guys together is just the greatest thing. Happy anniversary. I love you.
Howard and Dale.
Oh, yeah. It's all been so thrilling. I know that it happens only when
That has got to be one of the craziest things I have ever done. But we had decided 60 years of marriage, we were going to celebrate.
Yeah.
That's right. We celebrate the years we've had together, the friendship, and he's still my best friend. The love and respect that we have each other. We celebrate.
Yeah.
We celebrate. What do we celebrate? We celebrate the blessings that God has given us along the way. The blessing of family that you have seen through video. The blessings of miracles that God has given us through 60 years. 5 years ago, Howard was in a wheelchair, and the doctor said, even with surgery, we can't promise he'll ever walk again. We saw God's miracle tonight. I never thought I'd see Howard be walking. We celebrate friendship God gives us. Friendship with neighbors. And I have one neighbor that keeps telling me, I'm not your neighbor, I'm family. And she has been there for me these past 6 months. She's the one that put out all those beautiful signs that led you here. She even gave us the use of her husband's golf cart. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, Tommy. And thank you, neighbors, for the friendship and love. Wave so everybody can see who my neighbor is.
Our neighbor.
Let me just say one thing, and we've known them since 2007, and I know they had this long marriage, and I just asked Howard one day, we were over there by ourselves, and I said, Howard, what's the secret? You know, to 55, 60 years, I said, tell me what the secret is. And he said, very simple. He said, I don't run her life, and I don't run my life.
Started out, we were going to learn 10 different dances. Well, after 6 months of learning those 5, we gave up. I got to do a couple of kudos. First, Ellen, our granddaughter back there, she was sworn to secrecy. She became our choreographer and our sound tech and teaching us the dances and what have you. And for 2 old people, I thought she did pretty good. Thank my grandson Michael. Where are you, Michael? Back there. For putting together that video. That was great. We'll cherish that. And Susan, back there, our Brad's wife, our daughter-in-law, she headed the committee that did all the decorating. And but Sherry and Wally and me and Brad and everybody was involved helping, but she was the director. She had the ideas, and she did a marvelous, marvelous job. Sarah! Yeah. Come here, Sarah. Come here, Sarah. This is the lady that I have worked with many years. Get out here, sweetie. Come on. Sarah and I worked together for 8 years when I was at the church as a church administrator. She's been like my sister that I never had. We've known her like 32 years, you and Sam. And she's been the one in charge out there in the kitchen, and she headed that committee. She did a super job. Thank you, Sarah. Now, I've got to recognize the groups here. The Military Officers Association, would you raise your hand? We got 4 of them. That's a group that meet once a month during the winter, and we tell sea stories.
Again and
We have a group from Newbern, our friends and neighbors. Can you raise your hands, please? And as Britton has already stole my thunder there, Capital Metals people, put your hands up, please. Oh, 6 or 7 years doing things I shouldn't have been doing. But you did them well. And then we have a group of Westover people. From Westover, our friends from Westover, raise your hand please, everybody. And Pastor Don, would you stand up please? You didn't have to put your shoes on.
Really wedged in you.
Pastor Don doesn't like to be recognized, so I thought I'd embarrass him. But he has been a friend and a mentor for 23 years.
24, 26, 25.
Where was I? That must have been
We had a year before.
And with him tonight is a person that made him famous. Donna, stand up. Bill dared me to say that. We love you two guys. We have relationships are going 6 months. They've been such a blessing to Westover, and the Westover crowd will say amen, I'm sure. Now, I think we're going to cut the cake now. We're going to cut the cake, okay? We're going to take a picture. Go. Tells the funniest story I've ever heard. And I said, I know he'll do it for $2. So I called Sam Biffle. I got to listen very carefully. This is funny. It's a true story. And by the way, his stage name is Lightning. Daddy said he was so slow, we called him Lightning. You're taking over loud now.
Okay. Well, if you can't hear in the back, it doesn't matter. I don't have anything important to say. Howard asked me to tell a story from my college days, so I'll give you a little background. My dad did call me Lightning because I made 2 syllables out of every word, and I moved slow. And he said, Mildred, that boy's slow. And it didn't dawn on me that I got in high school playing football, and the coach had me go 1 count early. It didn't dawn on me. All sides for 2 years. I am a little slow. But I was, let's see, there's Don Miller. I was witnessing to 4 other Cowboys in college. I think the year was 61, 62. we had rented this house. There was 5 of us. We paid $40 a month for it, and people said we got taken, but it was there I met my love of my life, Sarah. Y'all met her earlier. We cleaned up the house and all, and I had her over. She looked around and said, lepers live in better places. She hated me, you know. But, one night, we were having a little fellowship and refreshments, and one of the boys that lived in West Texas, we had a rodent problem and a security problem. He thought, well, if I bring back a couple of rattlesnakes, that'll cure the problem. Better than a guard dog, so Charlie brought back 2 rattlesnakes. You always looked at that aquarium, if it wasn't, those snakes wasn't in there, he had turned them loose. That cured the rodent problem. And so one night as we was having refreshments, he was sitting there at a 3-legged dining room table. Isn't that right, Sarah? 3 legs on the table? Right. And Charlie had one of the snakes, and he had hold the snake, and he had squeezed it in and strike, and he had thumped its fangs. Well, as the evening went on and we had more refreshments, he thumped and squeezed the snake, and the snake hit him in the thumb, you know. So we said, we better take him to the infirmary. Went to the infirmary, and they said, Charlie's been bitten by a rattlesnake. We was at East Texas State. Folks heard colleges were better back east. Texas don't leave Texas to go to college. Texas. And so they said, there's no rattlesnakes in East Texas. And we said, well, Charlie brought his own. She said, y'all are drunk. I said, yes, ma'am. You know, anything about cowboys, why, usually one of them carrying a big knife. So we got thinking about our Boy Scout training. Said, we ought to split that open, Charlie. We got to go to the hospital here in town. Well, we went to the hospital and we went through the same thing. Said, Charlie's been bitten by a rattlesnake. They said, there's no rattlesnakes in these days. We know, ma'am, Charlie brought his own. But we don't have any cereal. Probably Dallas will be the closest place. And that's about a 6-pack from Commerce. We need to cut that in. It's swelling up bad. I said, here, hold my beer, give me the knife. Cut his thumb again. Charlie, get your thumb down. I'm not sucking your thumb. I got on down the road and got looking. Oh, we better cut that again, Charlie. It's not looking good. Well, he started getting whelps up his arm. So, well, we better cut those too. We got to Dallas, and the doctor said, well, the snake that's not bad, but said, y'all had cut Charlie off. Charlie went on to be Dr. Palmer, teaching down at Texas A&M, but Charlie never went on to have any feeling in that thumb. It looked like a chopped onion. But if you're worried, one of us didn't drink. I won't say which one. I don't know whether it's the bad example of the other 4 or his family life, or there's always a sober driver in the bunch who gets worried about that. But Sarah married me anyway. Sarah didn't want to be the only one doing dumb things up here.